Krista from Botanical Bird, and today I have my friend Sabrina with
Hi.
me. Sabrina, why are we here?
We're here because I just bought a new apartment and I would love to spice it up with some beautiful plants.
Nice.
Yeah, I wanted some outdoors and one indoor as well, so I asked her to come over and help me out.
I love consults. And so we went to the Lowe's, right? Not
Yes.
Home Depot. We went to the Lowe's and we got some plants and some accessories.
Yeah, we had an adventure at Lowe's, I have to say. We had a lot of fun.
It was delightful.
Yeah.
All right, let's check it out. All right, so we are here at Lowe's.
Yay!
Yay! What do we have so far?
We got a citronella. Come
Ooh.
on.
Dun, dun, dun.
I got this one because this citronella is nice and fluffy, and I like citronellas because they naturally ward off mosquitoes. So when I'm on my balcony, I don't have to worry about things trying to bite me.
I like it. And we looked at the care card and it says it needs partial shade.
Which is perfect.
Which is good because your balcony has an overhang.
Yeah.
And we're gonna figure out the watering schedule, but it shouldn't be too bad. Awesome. And now we just want more partial shade plants, or what are we doing?
Yeah, I think I would like to look around and see what else we can find. Also, I would like some really cool pots to put these in.
Ooh, okay, we're at the right place.
Perfect.
Onward and upward.
Thank you. Okay, so now that we have our plant, we were thinking of getting a new pot because it's a pretty pot, but we could do better, right?
True.
So we found this one. It's nice and bright, and we don't want to cause the plant any more stress. So we're literally just going to put it in this, and I'm going to house it in this pot for a couple of weeks, or until I feel like it needs another pot.
I like it. And then there was a surprise plant below, wasn't there?
Yes. Okay, so I found this one. I really like succulents just because I like the flower effect that it's giving. So I really like this one. I also like the color that it's bringing off in both of these. I feel like this is so utilitarian because it wards off mosquitoes. That I really want to bring the beauty.
I like it.
I like these two together for my patio.
Very nice. And a cool thing about this is that it's flowering. So we know that the succulent is healthy because it's got a flower. And then even the spider plant also has some spiderettes. So we know that's healthy too. And it's already in a cute pot. Made sure it has drainage holes. And we think it's good.
Yeah, I really, really like it.
Nice. Another positive of this plastic pot is that it has drainage holes in the bottom and a detachable plant saucer. So even if Sabrina does want to pot her plant directly in this pot later, it will still drain efficiently and it won't get root rot. So in true Krista fashion, I am not in the market for a giant euphorbia, and yet I want it. And I'm about to move in like 2 months, but I'm debating the merits of spending over $100 on this here euphorbia. It's just so big. We weren't looking for succulents.
Do it. Buy it.
I can't. But let's just take a moment to appreciate. Okay, moment over. All right, so we have made it back to Sabrina's apartment, and this is spooky editing, Krista from the future. We're gonna start repotting some of the plants, and Sabrina had some great questions about why we might want to repot different plants or change out the soil and why we might not for others. And I talk about this in my recent video on repotting, which I will either link in the description or put in the cards above. But those are great questions, and I feel like a lot of times things like this is kind of dealer's choice, so that if you wanted, you can repot a plant as soon as it comes home if you feel that the soil is too moist or if it's not area enough for that sort of plant. So we were checking the soil of the Sansevieria plant since it likes to dry out between watering so much, and there wasn't much in the way of soil amendments to make the soil very airy to allow the roots to dry out between watering. So I had suggested if you want, we can switch this out for the cactus soil, or if you'd rather just keep this soil, it'll probably be okay as long as you wait longer between waterings. And she mentioned that she'd rather kind of switch out the soil to give her plant the best chance possible. So that is why we decided to repot this Sansevieria. And I won't go into the logistics of how to repot a plant because, as I said, I just made a video about that. So if you have questions about plant repotting, I would definitely encourage you to check that video out. All right, so here we decided that we would also kind of half repot this plant assortment because it contains a succulent, and the peperomia is kind of succulent-esque. And so we figured, why not give this plant as area of soil as we possibly can? And so that's why we decided to change out some of the soil in this pot with the cactus soil that we got from Lowe's. The peperomia golden gate takes a bit of a nosedive right there, and to remedy that, when we put the soil back in the pot, we kind of dig a slightly deeper pocket in the soil to stick that plant farther down so that it won't be tempted to lean over whenever wind hits it or anything like that. You'll notice that we don't take off all the soil in the root ball because we don't want to damage any roots, but also because the soil that the plant was already in wasn't terrible. It seemed to be, I don't really know what to describe it. It had like some like straw in it or something, and so it didn't seem to be like a terrible substrate, but we just wanted to make it even more airy, so we definitely did not take off. We maybe like took away like half of the soil and switched it out for the succulent soil. We also took this opportunity to kind of prune some of the plants, so you'll see that we gently rip off some dead leaves or rotting leaves and put them aside. Just while we're already messing with the plant, we figured we would make it as beautiful as possible. Sabrina also had some really great questions on care for these plants. Before starting this whole thing, she let me know that her balcony, one side faces east, the short side that you can't really see in this picture, and then the main side that you can see is north facing, and so this is going to get very low light, but since it's outside, any plant outside will get more light than it would when it was inside, and it actually does get some morning direct light coming from the east. So at the end, we strategically place the plants where the sun rays will hit it, and so trying to give these plants the brightest light possible since it's in a north and east facing direction, trying to do that. And then I definitely encouraged Sabrina to kind of look up these plants to see their specific care needs, but that in general she could stick her finger in the soil as far down as she could about once a week to see if the plants need to be watered, and generally to let the soil dry out between waterings. And here we decide not to change out the soil or repot the citronella in any way. We're just going to use that blue pot as a cover pot, simply because we don't want to unnecessarily stress a plant more than it already is stressed from changing environments. Since it doesn't have succulent leaves or super specific care needs, we figured we'd allow it to acclimate before changing anything else. What do we got?
Okay, so we have our final products here. So first we're going to look at Mr. Citronella. He's a mister because he's really like down to business. We potted him in this baby blue pot, and I really like it because it houses what he originally came in. We're not going to mess with him anymore.
Nice.
And then we have this beautiful one here that I'm in love with. We put her in the direct sunlight for some of the day because I know that succulent needs a lot of sunlight. And we repotted her because the soil in there was just a little bit too damp.
Okay.
And then she has this little tiny plate underneath that kind of matches along, so we don't like have excess drip when, you know, we overwater her, which I probably will many times. And then we have this plant, which is my favorite plant, which is the mother-in-law tongue.
Mm-hmm.
We repotted her in this really pretty pot that I found.
Ooh.
And we put new soil in there because once again the soil was just a little bit too damp. I'm gonna put this actually inside in my kitchen.
So in my excitement of filming a video with Sabrina, I forgot to do an outro. So I wanted to thank you for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. I know that I for sure did. It was my first collaboration before. And so thank you to Sabrina for being such a willing participant in my video and for helping teach the masses about plants, and for valuing me as a resource. I really appreciate that. I love when people send me plant questions, and I always preface it or end it with, I am not the end all and be all of plants. I feel like I have spent a lot of time learning about plants, but it's only been a couple of years. And so truly, please seek out other resources as well, but I would love to be one of your resources. So if you ever have any questions or you don't know where to start with plants, you can definitely start at the beginning of my channel. I have lots of how to begin to be a plant parent videos, or if you just have any questions specifically about specific plants or light or anything like that, please feel free to send them my way in addition to any other research you want to do. So if you have any questions based on what we did today, please feel free to comment them below, or what your first plants were as a plant parent. And thank you so much for watching. And remember, we're rooting for you.